Teen movies are filled with stereotypes and tropes, from cult classics like Heathers and Hairspray to Netflix originals like To All the Boys I've Loved Before and The Kissing Booth. They all use stereotypes and tropes to help get different points across to the audience, and Mean Girls is no exception. Mean Girls came out in 2004, and since then it has become an iconic movie, with instantly recognizable characters and lines that are still quoted today. Mean Girls uses stereotypes and tropes in several different ways. Whether it's to show you a lot about a character in very little time, or simply to make you laugh, these tropes and stereotypes are used to convey the messages and ideas of the movie. And while some of the stereotypes are a little outdated and offensive, others are as relevant as they were over a decade ago.
You got everybody there. You got your freshmen, ROTC guys, preps, JV jocks, Asian nerds.
The cafeteria scene in Mean Girls is one that comes to mind first whenever you think of the movie, and it is full of stereotypes. Every table is a different group, and you do not mix. Refinery 29 asked a group of teens in 2019 to share their thoughts on this iconic scene, and their answers showed just how much times have changed. One of the main things that teens said was that switching tables wasn't social suicide, and you didn't have to just stick to one group and keep it the entire time. In fact, a lot of the groups in their cafeteria were just groups of friends, not necessarily people they shared all of the same interests with, and they mingled between the groups freely.
He's a good kisser.
He's your cousin.
Yeah, but he's my first cousin.
Right.
So you have your cousins, and then you have your first cousins, and then you have your second cousins.
No, honey.
The dumb blonde trait originated about 250 years ago in a play called La Curiosité de la Foire, where one of the main characters, Rosalie Duth, a blonde, was portrayed as dumb. She took long pauses as she spoke, leaving people to believe that she was slow or stupid. Then in 1953, in the movie Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, Marilyn Monroe's character Laura Lee embodies the dumb blonde stereotype, being portrayed as absent-minded and scattered. Karen Smith in Mean Girls is also a perfect example of this stereotype, from not being able to read a room to just not getting jokes and asking obvious questions. In the movie, this shows Karen's innocence and also shows how she could become part of the plastics. She simply doesn't know better. The bait and switch, also known as a plot twist, is one of the most commonly used movie tropes, and unlike others that are confined to a specific genre, the bait and switch is pretty universal. Leading your audience to think one thing only to change it last minute is a good way to capture and keep their attention. In this case, we are left wondering why Regina would write all of those mean things about herself until it is revealed in the next scene. Stereotypes and tropes can be helpful in many ways. With stereotypes, authors can give very little about their characters, and we as an audience will fill in the rest based on what we believe about the character. Tropes are widely recognized and used, so the audience will be able to understand and enjoy them while focusing on other parts of the movie. Mean Girls makes great use of tropes and stereotypes, whether it's to describe the entire cafeteria in a matter of seconds or leave the audience questioning the main character's motives. Tropes and stereotypes allow writers and directors of movies to have more freedom with how they make their movie. And, while some of the stereotypes in Mean Girls may not have aged as well as others, the movie as a whole is still
So fetch.